our next guest. Now, this is a conversation that we've had before, and it's been a relatively difficult one. And it relates to a fatal crash or caused in New Zealand when, and I'm just trying to remember the year now, it was last year. In fact, it was about this time last year, I think. No, it might have been a bit before then. If you remember, there were three motorcyclists um, who were on a sort of they were part of a motorcycling community, not a gang. They were a group of motorcycle enthusiasts. And one morning, they got up at a place called Utuku, just south of Taihape, and apparently were on their way to go and get breakfast. And one of those was a woman in, I think, her early 40s called Lesley Brooks. She used to ride with the group. I think they were called Road Pirates Manawatu. I think that was it. And so she went along with two younger men, and they were riding along to go and get breakfast for their group. And they were observing the road rules and doing everything right, and veering towards them in a car, and on drugs and out of control was a man with a significant background of criminal offending, a gang member who veered into them, and if you remember rightly, and I'm sure you do, killed all three of them, including the motorcyclist Lesley Brooks. She died in December of 2024, so gosh, it was relatively recent. The man who killed her was charged with drug driving, causing the triple fatality, and he went to the court, and we had talked to Lesley's husband about that time, Michael Brooks. Subsequently, there has been a court case and a punishment given, and Michael Brooks has felt that at the time he didn't want to talk too much about it. He was still processing it, but now he is available to talk about it. And Michael joins us now. And as we head into Christmas, Michael, this must be a very difficult time for you.
Yeah, it's pretty unreal at the moment. Everyone says the first the hardest part, but this is really going to be our first Christmas without Lesley. Yeah.
They are subsequent, of course, to Lesley's death and the death of two others, Luke Shaw and Jacob Cody, and also the maiming of, as I remember, another man as well who lost an arm and a leg, I think, in that. So there were four victims
Correct.
of that particular case. The man who committed the offence and killed the three people, including your wife, and maimed the fourth, has appeared in the courts. Can you tell us what the result of that court case was, please, Michael?
Yeah, sure. So after a couple of put-offs due to lawyer changes and then the excuse of not having the crash report for his lawyer to read over, we finally got our plea about 3 months ago, where he did plead guilty. He didn't appear in court because apparently the funding didn't allow him to come up from Rimataka to Wanganui on that day, although we were told that he would definitely appear. He didn't. It was by video link, which was very unfortunate. And that's where we're at the moment. And I kind of understand why sentencing won't be until January, just due to Wanganui having quite a small courtroom. They've
Well, I mean, I've been in that courtroom, can I say, facing charges for contempt of court, believe it or not. It's not that small, Michael.
Yeah. So what
Um,
they've done for us though is they've allowed both courtrooms to be available for us, and it's got to be over like a 3-hour period. and they just want the overspill of people to be able to connect in some way and be able to watch it. And the lawyer's office is obviously available for that as well. So
The man, his name is Garth Temokina Thompson, 51 years of age. He pleaded guilty to being under the influence of methamphetamine to such an extent as to be incapable of operating a motor vehicle, which is why he killed your wife, Luke and Jacob, who are both 24, and Jeremy Capper, who was, of course, maimed, losing both an arm and a leg in this particular case. He has been a gang member for years and years, and in actual fact, he was involved in the death of an elderly doctor in Foxton by the name of Howard Teppert, Dr. Howard Teppert, and that was, many people will remember that. He was beaten viciously with an iron bar, 79 years of age, and his 78-year-old sister who was staying at the house was also beaten and raped. He was part of that particular episode as well.
great.
Can I just ask the question of you?
Mm-hmm.
Is Thompson is an evil person, and he's been an evil person for a long time. He's now
Yes.
killed your wife and two other young men, maimed, as I said, Jeremy Capper as well. He's pleaded guilty. Have you received any indication from the police or those who are prosecuting him as to his likely punishment?
No, unfortunately, after all the meetings that we've had, they're all bound by the law, and the law states that in an event like that, for killing one or three or five people, it's 10 years. Um, so, and the maiming of Jeremy would be 5 years. So, depending on how they sentence it, whether it's commutative or consecutive sentencing, um, it could just get 10 years. Although
Well, that's a
the
maximum, isn't
lawyer,
it?
yeah, so our lawyer has sort of indicated that the High Court wants them to push this as hard as they can. So to us, that means you're going to be pushing for 35, although she doesn't think that's possible, just due to the way the law is structured. We're
No.
we're sort of wanting her to go high, or they can only say no, right? Um, so there's no comparable cases, unfortunately, which is what they like to do with things like this, just to apparently keep it fair. Um, the comparable case that I've got is this person, Garth, was sentenced back in the Tebbit case for 10 years for aggravated robbery. So I don't know how 10 years for aggravated robbery and killing three people were on the same sort of playing field, but that's what we're dealing with our law.
Um, has there been any display of remorse exhibited to you, Michael, from this man Thompson?
No, I haven't seen any at all. Even by video link, he was just head down and didn't really seem to care. Or apparently, he is looking at doing restorative justice, but until I see something from him, I'm absolutely not keen on it at all.
No, his lawyer said that he was open to restorative justice rather than,
Yeah,
desirous of it. Um,
yeah, that's true.
yeah, so I mean, he's also got been in prison, unsurprisingly, for other offences as well, including possession for supply of methamphetamine. So he served
Correct.
time after the Teppert death and the rape of his elderly sister. And then we've got this particular case as well. He is a seriously evil individual who has killed and killed again. I, 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 I don't know what it's like being in your position, Michael, but does this man, is prison adequate really to deal with individuals like this? Is there a desire for vengeance on your part that would extend to this man either never coming out of prison or, well, frankly, not living much longer?
Um, I'd like to trust the system, but it doesn't. It doesn't do justice. And I don't think anything can. Um, the prison system, for me, I think, is the only way for him. Like, if, if I wished, him to not be around anymore, I think that'd be too easy for him. It's got to be a harder sentence for the rest of his life.
Mm,
I've got the
mm,
rest of my life to deal with this,
mm,
as do the other families.
mm,
Jeremy.
mm.
Um,
You've spoken with the
I think
families.
there's too many easy way outs for him.
Yeah, I understand. You've spoken, Michael, with the families of the two young men that have been killed as well. I don't know what their family circumstances are. I'm assuming they've got mums and dads. I don't know if they were married or had partners at the time or
Hmm.
children. Are you aware of that?
They don't have children. They both had partners. They had only just, a week before the crash, had just sort of moved out into their own flat and things like that. Um, they were both hardworking young fellas with, trades behind them, kind of thing, and
Mm, mm,
yeah, just good kids. I think I did say at the time how Jacob had just been accepted to go work down in Antarctica. His parents found out just days after the accident, unfortunately. So just shows sort of how keen and hardworking they were. Um,
The thing that strikes me as odd here is that, and tell me, but he's been charged with being under the influence of
mm,
methamphetamine and pleaded guilty to
correct.
that and operating a motor vehicle. He's killed three people, maimed another, crippled him permanently. Was it ever explained to you why he wasn't charged with manslaughter?
Yeah, yeah, it was. So manslaughter is a criminal charge. So to go through that, we would have to prove all the acts that happened leading up to. This is being charged under land transport. So everything that he's been charged with is already in place. Um, the difference to the sentencing, the maximums are the same. So we don't actually get anywhere by trying to prove manslaughter.
Right.
So as far as the lawyer's concerned, it's a kind of an easier route than having to go through a massive court hearing. Basically, it's all written there. It's there for that reason, and that's why they use it.
I guess
I hope that makes
I
sense.
do know. I mean, we've talked about it on the show repeatedly that when you go into the justice system, there are a whole series of what would be word discounts in sentencing that are given. Um,
Yeah,
this man will get a discount for being Maori. He'll get discount for presumably having had a tough life. He'll get a discount for pleading guilty. And he might even get a discount for pretending some sort of pretense of sorrow or remorse, which will certainly reduce it from being the maximum. Have the police or the judicial authorities taken you through that as well?
yeah, we've talked about it. Um, we're pretty much expecting he'll get at least a sort of 40% discount on whatever he
Oh, there
gets
you go.
sentenced with.
Mm,
Um, that's a bitter pill to swallow. Hands are tied, and I think we've all it's nearly been a year, right? We're just sort of all hoping for a result at the moment. We I guess we're expecting the worst, and anything we get above that's a bonus.
oh, God, no, I can't imagine how. Well, and so you'll go into Christmas still with the sentencing incomplete, and it's not going to happen, you now say, until January. Is that what you've been
Correct?
told?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So this carries on. So he will. So just let me get this right. He will stay in Rimataka and presumably be sent where he must be on remand currently,
Correct.
where he'll stay there to be sentenced, I think Rimataka is also a prison of its own as well, so it's got a remand facility and it's got the prison as well. You will be in the Wanganui District or High Court
Yeah,
for the
we've
judge
been told. Oh, sorry, Michael. We've been told that on sentencing by law he has to be present.
That's what I thought. Yep,
Yeah,
yep. Okay. So presumably, well, so if he's going to be present and you will be present, and presumably he'll have
yeah,
his mates with him and his whānau who will be saying he's a good boy, really. And you, and obviously the families of Luke and Jacob will be there as well as Jeremy for the sentencing, presumably too. Is that why they're saying it's going to be January because you need two courts? Did I hear that
yeah.
properly?
They tried to get it in before Christmas. That was that they wanted to, but the judge over after looking at how everything was booked and that we just can't get enough room in Wanganui
Right.
to allow
Okay.
for the amount of people that are
Yeah.
going to be there. Just for his plea case, we were overfilled from the courtroom, like we couldn't all fit. There was a lot of people in the waiting room, and there's going to be a lot more come sentencing. So yeah, to have it put off a little bit to allow for that it's kind of it's a good thing. There's going to be a lot of victim impact statements read out on the day, um, so it's going to be quite a timely sort of ordeal, I guess.
That certainly will be an ordeal for you.
Mm.
Lesley is now buried where?
She's not. She's on my um, dresser in the bedroom. Mm. Yeah, we
No,
had
my
her
father
cremated.
kept my mother there for his whole life as well when she died.
Yeah,
So is that what you intend to do too?
at the moment, yeah. The kids know that like they can just go into the bedroom and talk to mum whenever they want. Just means we don't have to worry about going anywhere to visit her. She's just with us the whole time.
That's lovely. Your children are aged how old now, Michael?
So eldest is 20, and twins are nearly, or they'll be 18 in January.
And so they're still resident in Palmerston North, Vanuatu?
They are, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And how, I mean, they've lost their mum. It's such a horrible question to ask you, but I have to. How, how are they coping at the moment, Michael?
Um, Keep it busy seems to be the way. Um, yeah, school has become like a priority just to stay busy and try and keep their mind active. And they're doing very well. Yeah, my
Mm.
eldest is at uni studying English to be a teacher, and the twins are off to Wellington next year to study. So they're doing
Well,
good.
they had their you and your wife as their mum and dad. So I mean, with you and Lesley, Michael, they're bound to do well as kids. But this tragedy, I can't think of how tough it would be for them as well. Should be very proud though of their passage and of you. I have to say in the last year
Oh,
because
I'm,
you've been
I'm
pretty
proud of them,
stoic.
that's for sure.
Yeah,
Mm.
no, absolutely. Um, Michael, thank you for sharing the story with us. We started with you because all of us, I have to say, couldn't imagine the pain that you've had to live with through, the absence that this means to you and your family, and the injustice of it all, which would seem to be continuing. But I wish you
Mm.
well for Christmas and our love and support with you.
Thanks very much, Michael. I really appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
Not a problem, mate. Thank you so much. Michael Brooks, the husband of Lesley, and along with Luke and Jacob and Jeremy, their lives were changed, or ended, in fact, for Lesley, Luke, and Jacob on this horrible day last December, if you remember rightly. The story of Garth Temokina Thompson is a story all of its own. He was inevitably a person waiting to do this, an evil man who'd lived an evil life within a gang and a lifestyle in which inevitably he was going to create the evil that he did. and he has. And for some strange reason, there are people in this country who believe that gangs and gang members require our sympathy. No, they require our eradication of them.